Hello and welcome back to Vlogmas on Wide World of Wendy. How are you? Well, today we're going to talk about one of the most underrated stars of the holiday table, and that is the stuffing. No, not that weird cubed stuffing that tastes like green. It does taste like green. I'm sorry, it tastes like some kind of weird green thing. Not that kind. We're talking about mom's stuffing. Moist, delicious, buttery, melt in your mouth, crispy edges stuffing. That's the kind we're talking about today. So go grab your spoon, get that pack of butter for me, and come on back. Let's do stuffing. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to need for mom's stuffing, okay? You're going to need one whole celery heart pack, and you're going to cut this into bite-sized pieces. You're going to need the biggest pack of mushrooms that you can find, and we're going to slice those. So you're going to slice those even. You're going to need a whole onion. You're going to chop that as well into little dices. 2 cloves of garlic that you'll mince in towards the end. You're going to cook all these vegetables in a stick of butter. So grab a stick of butter, and then you will need 2 packages of the blue. If they ever change the color, we're in trouble. But it's the blue Pepperidge Farm herb seasoned, or whichever one you can find that just says classic. Whichever brand of stuffing you can find that's classic. I like 2 packages. That fills up a nice brownie pan size casserole. So 11 by 8, 11 by 8, 8 by 11, 9 by 12 probably is what it is. All right, so I'm just going to cut all the vegetables up and meet you over at the stove for the next step. The onion is definitely starting to get beautifully transparent. Just going to hit on a couple pieces of celery here with a knife. Let's see how, fork tender. Easy peasy. Perfect. Perfect. So the next thing we can do then is add our 2 cloves of garlic. Okay, so now we're ready to add our 2 cloves of garlic. Same as before, you don't want to add them until just at the end of the cooking process. You want the flavor to come through. If you cook it too long, it can have a tendency to get a little rancid. We just don't want we just want our garlic to taste like garlic. And the best way to do that is to wait till the very end before you add it to your hot skillet. So let's make sure we got everything that we could on those 2 cloves. We'll give that a good stir. And now we are ready to take this back over to our stuffing mix and get it ready to go in the oven. Woo, so close, it's going to be so moist. I'm so excited. I love this time of year. Okay, so we are ready to get started. I have that original great big bowl that we had to put all the vegetables in, and I've gone ahead and sprayed with some no stick spray our casserole dish, which happens to be 8.5 by 11, and I have its smaller friend on the side just in case this makes more than what will fit in here, because I don't want to overstuff everything. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to dump the very first package of seasoning in, and then I'm going to go get those vegetables and add them, and we'll stir that all together. So let me go get those veggies. And we will dump these into our bowl. Start stirring this up just to get everything mixed, and then I'll add the other thing of seasoning, or stuffing, I guess. I did not need to add any kind of salt, pepper, blah, 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 blah to the veggies because this stuffing already has the seasoning blend in it. So it's kind of foolproof. You don't need to worry about it. And the chicken stock that you're going to add, well, guess what? It also has salt and other things in it. So there's no reason to reinvent the wheel if it's already done. So you can see, no, you can't see. Let's put you over here where you can see. Let me get this out of the way. Sorry about that. So far, this is what she looks like. And I'm just gonna put a little hole in the middle here to add the next bag of seasoning. Stuffing mix. I told you, it takes a great big bowl. And very careful stirring. Right now I just want to get a nice clean mix of all the veggies. So definitely doing, as Grandma may have taught you, the old-fashioned fold. Spoon in, spoon to the middle, twirl the bowl. Spoon in, spoon to the middle, twirl the bowl. All right, once you've got them in a pretty good mix, hello, Mr. Celery, then we're gonna add our chicken stock. I'm gonna give it a good shake. Make sure you shake all the ingredients that are at the bottom to the top. I'm gonna start with half. Because like I said, these vegetables are pretty moist already. And you know what they say about moisture and haircut. Once you put it in, it's hard to get out. If you cut your hair too short, it's too short. There's no going back. So same with adding moisture. You can go slow. You can always add more. Just can't go back. And you can probably see it and hear it. It's still pretty crumbly. I would like for it to have less of that crumb spinning noise in the dryer. So I will stop and add just a little bit more of the chicken stock. And we're still doing more of the around she goes. Where it stops, no one knows. Let me pull it up there so you can see up close. What we got going on, we're pretty close. So you can see when I pull my spoon forward, see how it sticks together? It's not crumbly, it's sticking it together. So I think, why did it get in the bowl? I think that is gonna do it. Okay, there's probably a cup left in here. So this is 32 ounces, that would have been 4 cups, so I bet we used 3 cups of the chicken stock. Now the next thing to do is to spoon it into our dish. So I'm going to switch sides with this so you can see. And I'm going to get a big spoon to actually help me spoon it in. Can you see? I'm just making sure that all 4 corners have been filled. And I'm going to add a little bit more. I want it to have a nice rounded top. Just go a little bit more. Again, like I said, you kind of like it to have a nice rounded top when you're cooking it. Gets a nice brown top that way. Get that nice crispy, crunchy deliciousness. And it looks like I do have enough to do the other pan. So let me set this over here. And we'll do the other pan. We'll give it a quick spray. Can dump that guy in. We'll dump the remainder. Looks fancy, tastes fancy. It's not fancy. 3 common vegetables, some butter. 3 common vegetables and some butter. Pretty snazzy. And it looks like you cooked all night. Oh, speaking of that you cooked all night, if you are in a rush, you can do these vegetables the day before and just leave them in a jar or in a bowl in your refrigerator. And then the next morning or whenever you're getting ready to cook, all you have to do is get that big bowl out and do what I just did with the chicken stock and that. And a little time saver there if you have, you're like, well, I'm not going to have time to do this, but I can do this right now. This can be made ahead. Would I suggest making the whole thing ahead and putting it in a dish? Yes, I would, if you were going to use a metal pan. Because I use glass pans, you really don't want to go from a cold fridge straight into a 375-degree oven. You could clack your grass. You could crack the glass. So just to be on the safe side, because I use glass, I wouldn't put this in there. But if I had some metal pans, not a problem. Definitely could make this whole thing ahead, put it in the fridge overnight, and then pop it in the oven. This is going to go 350 to 375 for about 30 minutes and check it. Probably no longer than 40 minutes at 350. So low and slow, that is the tempo. Get your stuffing good to go. All right, let's put it in the oven and I'll come back to you when it's ready to go. Future Wendy, just wanted to say, did I tell you guys to cover that stuffing? Make sure you cover the stuffing before you put it in there. You do want to keep it moist, right? All right, it's been 35 minutes. Let's check it. Oh my goodness. That is looking delicious and so ready to eat, so moist. This is perfection. Absolute perfection. Now what I will do is now I'm gonna put it back in the oven for another 10 minutes just to get the top nice and browned. And this will be ready to eat. So let's give it 10 minutes and I'll be right back. Holiday cooking doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be made with love. And since my mom passed this recipe down to me, now it's my turn to pass the recipe down to you. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Vlogmas. Please like, subscribe, and come back tomorrow for even more holiday fun.